What's going on, guys? GZTV, the second of 3 videos from today. Tonight is late as fuck. But yeah, we have the 10th episode of Dexter Seeing Red. I think there's 2 more episodes left in the season. I'm probably not gonna watch it. I might actually watch Walking Dead and Dexter tomorrow to kind of catch up on some things. Tomorrow is gonna be like my catch-up day, but because of the holiday break. But let's get into it. So when a key to a hotel room is delivered to Miami police inside a jar of blood, Deborah and Dokes visit the hotel and find a room completely covered in blood, and obviously they walk in this room and they are just sick. I mean, I would be as well. Normally these Dexter reviews really aren't that lengthy, but this room is just covered in blood. They show up to this crime scene. Dexter is sent in first to investigate, but seeing the blood-covered room brings back a repressed memory from his childhood, sitting in a pool of blood at the age of 3, causing him to run from the scene. I don't really remember what happened, and I'm not even sure if they've even, I don't even know if they've even, revealed what happened here, because we've seen these flashbacks, throughout this show of him being in this, pool of blood. I think that's been a pretty prominent thing. But I can't figure out what that's referencing to. I think his father might have killed someone. I think his father did used to kill people, and he was a kid, and he didn't really understand what was going on. Harry did, anyway. Yeah. The forensics team surmises that the blood came from at least 5 different bodies, although none are in the room. So obviously the bodies were probably stowed away, because there's probably fingerprints on them, and they probably would have found something. Since there were only 1 set of fingerprints in the room, they assume that the victims were killed elsewhere and their blood spread around the room by the killer, so they're kind of just making some diagnostics here as they move on. Deborah suggests that the ice truck killer, who has had 5 bloodless victims, may have been responsible. He may have just took their blood here and just splattered it all over the walls to look like and maybe play some tricks on. We know he's playing tricks on Dexter. Maybe trying to play tricks by just throwing the fucking blood everywhere. There's this, and Dexter's. For a little recap, Dexter's stuck in this weird situation. He's stuck in this really weird situation where, he knows who the ice truck killer is, but if he tells people that he knows who it was, he's going to look really bad. He's going to look bad. While dating a woman in a bar, Batista sees a prostitute with a prosthetic hand and fingernails painted in the same way as the ice truck killer's first victim. So this is some very interesting stuff. So maybe we're starting to crack down on Rudy, because he did for the prosthetics. Working on a hunch that the killer is an acrotomophiliac, he speaks to Deborah's boyfriend, Rudy, who he doesn't realize is the actual ice truck killer. He just thinks this guy's like a suspect. He's like, okay, I'll just question him, it'll be alright. No, this guy actually did it, right? Rudy cooperates upon realizing that Batista does not know his identity. He doesn't know, what he does, or he doesn't know, his personal life or anything like that. So it's whatever, he's fine. He was literally about to grab a knife and stab him, and I kind of wanted to see that. Obviously, that's kind of fucked up to say, but I kind of wanted to see Rudy kill someone. I want to see an important character die at some point, but I'm sure it'll happen. But later, Batista is stabbed in a parking lot by a masked man. He manages to elbow him in the face before 2 men scare the attacker off. And I'm pretty sure it was the ice truck killer, or maybe a henchman, someone that the ice truck killer sent out. Minutes later, Rudy, who had earlier fallen out with Deborah due to secretly having dinner with Dexter, arrives with flowers. Now, we don't know if this was a phase in the future of him giving her flowers and whatnot, or what it was, but yeah. They kiss, but Rudy backs away, complaining of a cut lip, suggesting that he was Angel's attacker, so yeah. He probably was. Rita finds out that Paul is pressing charges against her for assault because they had kind of this altercation going down. She talks with a lawyer who tells her that since she invited Paul into her house, she cannot prove that her intent was to defuse the situation. She can't really prove that. At a hearing, it is revealed that Rita violated her and Paul's custody agreement, making his case against her even stronger. So Rita is kind of in some hot shit right now. When Paul drops by Rita's house to return their children, he threatens Dexter when the two are alone in the kitchen. Dexter is not taking that shit. Obviously, from the outside looking in, if you're not watching this show and you're someone in the show, you're like, most people think this is an innocent man. He didn't do anything. But, no, dude, this guy No, man. Like, he's not an innocent man. Dexter responds by hitting him with a frying pan, so he actually retaliates. Paul's going to keep this in mind, of course. Paul loses consciousness, so Dexter drives him back to his hotel and frames him for drug abuse. So obviously he works in evidence. So he's the perfect guy to frame anyone against anyone, right? So Dexter alerts the police, and Paul is sent back to prison. Obviously, they know that Paul's like associated with Dexter in some way, given that he's dating Rita, so they believe it. They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're just trying to save this man's life, right?" With encouragement from Rudy, Dexter returns to the bloody hotel room where he relives his repressed memory, the murder of his mother with the chainsaw when he was 3. So, yeah, I think his dad killed his mom or something. He has a very fucked up childhood, and I mean, just looking at him, just knowing him from the show, he is definitely a fucked up person. This was a good episode, honestly. 9 out of 10. This is an outstanding episode here on IGN. The scene where Dexter hits Paul was one of the most jaw-dropping, intense scenes yet. And I like that Angel's seeming separate subplot was well linked to the main plot line of the episode. The fascinating dynamic between Dexter and Rudy was cool. I kind of sense an interesting psychosexual undercurrent developing. Seeing Red proof that each episode of Dexter was constant improvement from the last. They just keep building up and keep getting better, and that's something that a lot of TV shows kind of struggle with. You know, again, like we talked about The Walking Dead, it's definitely a bloated show, no doubt about it, but yeah, Dexter's manipulation by Rudy was great. His solution to Paul's threat was perfect. This was an awe-inspiring episode. This was great. Dexter's choice to frame Paul rather than kill him was interesting. A minor storyline involving Lieutenant Maria LaGuerta, who we know this whole time has been played by Lauren Velez, and her betrayal of her superior, Captain Tom Matthews, played by Geoff Pearson. So yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say about the episode. It's a really good episode. The Walking Dead in this episode were some bangers. I'm happy I was able to review these on the channel. I don't really have much to say right now. Already streamed tonight. We got the Dexter review done. I gotta watch a lot of TV tomorrow. I gotta catch up. We're gonna get another Walking Dead video for you guys tomorrow. I gotta get going here. But leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. We got the NBA recap coming up next. And we are done. Then we are done. I actually have Logan coming over tomorrow, so I'm going to try to get some content done in the morning. We'll see how that works. My fucking headset's broke, so I'm kind of pissed off about that. I'm not really motivated to stream video games as much. But hey, we can see. I'll see what I can do. You know, we're trying to get the Twitch streams kind of busting, and we've been doing it pretty well over